G'day folks, it's Nathan here from FVR Contracting and partially in my capacity as the professional shooting rep for Shooters Union Australia. So I've got Suppressor update number 8 today. Excuse the cockies in the background, but I'm in central Queensland on a job at the moment. Coincidentally, a job that would be really handy to have suppressors on, but obviously we're still not there. So where we are at the moment, we had the Queensland Police suppressor demonstration conducted. Queensland Police Service did a great job during that demonstration by all accounts, although given the lack of transparency and clarity around that particular event, no outside stakeholders were invited, which seems to be relatively typical of this particular government and how they like to deal with their constituents, which is a little bit unfortunate. So since the demonstration, we've had some very vague references to the conduct of some legislation change, the conduct of a trial involving a permit system, but we've had no timelines other than a vague reference to after the Queensland election, which certainly is not what we were hoping for, and it's all quite ill-informed, to be honest. So, you know, to effect a trial with a permit system for suppressor use in Queensland for occupational users, it requires no action within the legislative system at all. It's a regulation change to the Queensland weapons regs, and if the Queensland Police Minister wanted to do that, he could effect that very quickly. It could be in place as soon as next week if he wanted to, but obviously, loud and clear, he doesn't want to do that. I guess he's putting himself in a position here where those people who are interested in this issue are probably going to look at the way that him, his team, his party, and some of the other government stakeholders involved have treated those of us who are trying to effect a reasonable and practical change to bring Queensland into line with other states. It's quite disappointing with the way it's been approached. As I've said earlier, the gripe here is not with Queensland Police Service. Queensland Police Service have been overall quite supportive. You know, it was very good despite the fact that no one got to attend it outside of government circles, but the fact that they actually did the suppressor demonstration and carried that through, so that was a good outcome. Now, what would be nice now is to see some form of real commitment from the Queensland Police Minister to take action as per what he said he was going to do, but as seems to be the case with many modern politicians these days, it's a case of, you know, they say they're going to do a thing, but then they don't actually do the thing. So that's kind of where we are at the moment, and I guess, you know, he's going to see some effects of that with people choosing to vote with their feet come the Queensland election. And that is what it is. But making vague references to putting this in place if Queensland Labor get back in again is pretty poor form when this issue is actually really simple. And you know, the conduct for trial is for a permit system is a very simple activity. It's not that hard to do. As I said, it's just a regulation change. Right, in terms of other updates, we've had nothing out of WorkSafe Queensland whatsoever. Their policymakers haven't been in touch. Resounding silence. So, you know, I don't know what you make of that, that you know, potentially it isn't safety first, but there we are. And I'd say this whole activity, one of the key themes has been, it's been a fair waste of resources, not just for those of us involved in campaigning to make this change to bring Queensland into line, but indeed for a whole bunch of other agencies, including Queensland Police Service, who have gone round in circles on this issue without actually being able to get to the point of resolution. So, you know, what would be great to see is this move forward quickly before the Queensland election. I remain hopeful, but hope is not a method, and so we'll see how we progress from this point forward. In terms of where we're going with the issue as a whole, you can expect to see some additional mainstream media coverage in the not too distant future. And that mainstream media coverage is going to highlight a couple of things. We're going to talk to the benefits of suppressors, which are wide, many and varied. We're going to talk to the fact that suppressors are enabled in nearly every other state in Australia for occupational users of firearms. And we're also going to discuss the agencies involved, the political personalities involved, and the timeframes that are involved, which now are around 5 years since this issue was first brought up in front of QCAT, where resoundingly, you know, it was highlighted that this is a common sense change that should be put in place. And 5 years down the track, here we are, still no action taken, still campaigning, still none the wiser on what an actual timeline for this looks like. So anyway, it is a little bit of a disappointing update, but it is what it is in this game. You know, whether we manage to effect any change at all before the Queensland election would be wonderful, but honestly, I don't think that is really likely. And then it remains to be seen what occurs post-Queensland election, depending which party is in power. You know, I would suggest that, you know, if Labor keep treating their constituents this way and the stakeholders that they work with, particularly in big spaces such as our primary industries, then, you know, that's probably not going to bode too well for them come election time. Anyway, if you have any questions or queries, please feel free to put them in the comments. I'll respond where I can. There isn't much more information, although, as I said, we will be getting some mainstream media coverage on this issue pre-election to make sure that those facts surrounding the institution of or bringing suppressors into Queensland are out there and factually reported with timelines. Again, there's no agenda here apart from, you know, making a common sense change to bring Queensland into line with other states. And so this is something that is simple and we'd like to see get carried through fairly shortly. Anyway, thanks for watching again. I'll keep you updated, hopefully with some more positive news as we move forward, and we'll see how we go. Thanks.